Hi everyone, my name is Rukia, also known as Hawa. There are a few things that I would like to point out today that I wish I had known from the beginning. I have a special needs child, as you can see. His name is Abdi. He's 12 years old right now. I've been battling with his condition slash disorder for the past 12 years. So there are a million things out there that I face daily basis. Lately, school has been a challenge for me. Schools, doctors, and it's very, very hard coming from totally another culture and being part of also trying to also face the U.S. culture, as I can, like you already know. Having a special needs child, a lot of times as parents, we're not really awarded enough. The way I look at it is like so many people sees us as we are in the bad way or the enemies. So nobody really not. You have to be the voice for your child. You have to defend your child, and you have to know a lot of times, who's there to support you, and who's there not to support you. So, two things that I would like to point out when it comes to school that I feel like school systems are, they have a law that no child left behind, but I think that law is really not right, and not a lot of schools practice with that law. So schools nowadays, anything they can get away with it, they will get away. So they'll push your child away to say that your child has something, or he's sick, or he has a behavioral symptom. They want you to run, pick up your child from work or however place you are. So as we special needs parent, we kind of have this two heavy bags to carry. One is also to be a normal parent, because we have other children in some cases. We have family to support. We have to work full time just like every other parent. And the other thing is that where the outside people don't realize that we are people like them. So we can only handle so much. Not a lot of employees out there are not, when you apply for a job, the employee are looking for how are you valued to the company. They hire you based on how are you valuing the company. They don't care about what goes on in your household, your family, whether it's special needs child or everything that you have outside of work. So as you now have to play the two roles, how do you play that role is the question. If I'm being called every day from work and I have to drop off everything, run to pick up my child, and not my child is sick, this is part of my child's condition. So I have a list of protocols right now that my son's doctor wrote for the school to follow, but the school is not following. So how do you do that is the question. What also happens is that you want to be the good person. You don't want to develop enemy with the school system. You neither don't want to develop, you don't want to lose your job, or you don't want to be seen as a bad parent. So you're battling in between. So at some point, you have to come in conclusion. You have to look at what is right and what can you do to be able to balance these two things together. That is the big thing. So what do? You go back to the school, you be the voice. You let the school know to follow the protocol that's there for your child or for anything else. If they have any problem or anything, sit down with the school. Fight back. Because it's a lot of the times what I felt like at the beginning of my child's life, I was jumping job to job, and I was like, oh my God, what do I do? I was stressed out. I didn't have enough money to pay my bills. I was losing jobs, and I was sometime like, there was a manager that sat down with me and said, Rukia, you're a very good worker, but you know what? Due to your situation, your family issue, I suggest you handle your family issue first. and then when all that's settled, come back to work. Well, this is not a situation that I can handle in one day. This is an ongoing lifetime. What do? I want to be able to provide my children, and I also want to be able to take care of my special needs child. So I had to put my foot on the ground. And you know what? There were times that I was told that I've been disrespectful to the school system or to whomever because I sent an email saying like, you know what? It's your job. It's my job to send my child to school. It's your job to take care of my child. And the 8 hours that you have, it's your problem. Do whatever protocol is on the paper, follow it. I am not coming just because you feel like I should be dropping everything and run to you. That's one thing. The other thing is having the right doctor is a key. Having the right doctor is the key. There are a lot of doctors that don't give us credit. When we know, you know your child better than anybody else, and I cannot stress myself enough. I went through this daily basis where I will get on the phone and say, well, you know what? If you feel like you know my child better, then do what you gotta do, because I feel like I know my child better. I've been doing this for 12 years, and I know you know your stuff. You know what? What you learn from the book is different than what you learn from experience. So a lot of us out there respect, because what you learn from the book is forgettable. What you learn from experience, it sticks in your head for the longest period of time. So that's the difference that we have.
Excellent.
Okay. Another thing is doctors. So having the right doctors is a key in this. So you want to develop basically a group of people that understand you as the parent and your child. People that will see you as that they want to support you. And a lot of times you can tell those doctors, because we happen to be going to the doctors more often than those parents. I don't want to say normal, because every child is normal in their own way. I want to say those children that do not have special needs. So we tend to be like in the doctor's office twice a month, rather than somebody with the child with no special needs be like once a year, physical, or every 6 months, however the case might be. So you want to pick the right doctor. Be in a doctor's office where the doctor will sit down, take the time to listen to you. The concern of what happened last night. How was your child this night? How is he doing? I give you that medication, I prescribed that last time. You've been using that same medication for the past 3 weeks. How do you see that? Is there an improvement? Do you feel like, should we change something? So you want a doctor that will put you in the center, make you basically part of the team. You don't want a doctor that will, the minute you walk in, you can sense and you can see that they want nothing to do with you or your child. They might not say it, but they give you basically the cold shoulder. And we've been through that. A lot of the times I would... most of the doctors over there, we didn't feel comfortable. So we end up things that we can handle, things that we can handle, we choose to drive hour and a half to Boston Insurance with the traffic, toll pay, parking. We took the extra mile and extra expense because I'd rather be somewhere where I'm wanted, that I feel like, he or she is taking the time to listen to me, to listen to my concern, wanting to help me, wanting to support me in any way that they can. So that's one thing. And how do you know those cold shoulders? When a doctor just comes into the room and basically a lot of the times they start with like, oh, okay, how was the child? And how, they don't even take to say, they call the child by name. They call the child. You have a name, the child have a name. They have the child right in front of them. They don't call by the name of the child or your name. So a lot of the times they want to rush you out, like 5 minutes. They ready to go. And then they tell you like, oh, okay, go in the front, set up the next appointment. Bye. So what do? Okay, I have all this bags of concern. Maybe the medication that you were using last week, something is not working. Maybe your child has not been sleeping for the past 3 weeks and you just want to get an answer, or you just want to see, something is wrong, but you're not the professional, so definitely you cannot make changes to those medication or those things. So, or you just want somebody to listen to you. So what you do, you change those doctors. You stick to the one that is gonna listen to you. And you know what, a lot of the times that's very hard, because you know why? We look at them as they're the educators, they are professional. Oh my god, the doctor, they have doctoral degree, they're the best, they know better. Who's gonna listen to me? I have to take every crap that they gave me because they're the doctors right now. But if you say that or do that, I've been there, I done it all. If you say it and do that, you're hurting yourself, you're hurting your child. Nobody is going to advocate for you. Nobody is going to advocate for your child. You are your child's voice. You need to step up. You need to get up. You need to say to the doctor, you know what, last visit when I came, this is what I have. Or you can say, wait a minute, stop. Or a lot of times when you feel that cold shoulder, it's not even worth it of discussing it with the doctor. Move on. Find somebody else that will listen to you. Find somebody else that's willing to listen to you. That is the key. And then the other thing is, you definitely don't want some of those doctors meet school staff or somebody outside of conference, outside of work basis, and they talk about your child. Well, no, I didn't sign a consent for you. Don't talk about my child. And you don't want to sign a consent for everybody that you see also, because they take control of your child's well-being. Because what happens is sometimes some people just take the consent paper and change the date and then talk about everything that they want to talk about, or change orders behind your back, and you don't know what is your child has been given when you're not around there. So those are things that I wish I had known when I had my child from the beginning. One, I had a language issue because I was brand new to the country. And two, I was very young. I was 17 years old. And that kind of let me in court. So a lot of the respect that I give them, that, you know what, growing up, what I was told was, grown ups are always right. Respect the grown ups. Listen to the grown ups. So those things I have done. I listen to them. Oh my gosh, doctors are the deal. The social workers, you listen to them. You don't talk back to them. Those are things that at the end of the day that led me to a courthouse that I did not want anything to do with, or I did not sign up. Had I known all of this, or if there was another parent like myself right now that was battling with the same thing that I'm battling today, would have been on YouTube, or there was like some sort of Facebook web, I would have learned a lot, and I would not have made all the mistakes that I have made at the beginning of my child's life. So from this point on, I know, and I've been told that my child have a, basically, I don't want to talk about it a lot of the times, but I have to talk about it, limited lifetime. And I want to give the quality of life while I have my child. And the times that I can enjoy with my child, I want to be able to enjoy. And I want to be able to feel comfortable. I don't want to feel like ashamed. I don't want to feel like I did something wrong, or make my child feel like he did something wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. I did all I was supposed to do before I had him. So he came to this world, the way I look at it, he's a gift for me from God. And is that being said, a lot of people look at it differently, and that's why I was talking to you at the beginning about the medical providers. Some medical providers look at you based on what have happened in the past. They look at you as, you have this special needs child, it's your fault. No, it's not your fault. You have not done anything wrong. You have not done anything, by all means.
all you're doing is trying to be your child's voice. All you're doing is trying to be your own voice. It is a challenging. It's not easy to deal with. If I tell you my daily life, you will, a lot of people tell me, how do you manage to come to work and you're the happiest person, like you are smiling all the time, you're happy, you're making jokes at work. I work in dialysis, so I always tell everybody, when I work at work, work is stiff. The minute I get in, I take off my mother hat, I put on my workday hat. After my workday, I take out my workday hat down and I put on my mother hat, and I come to my house and start all over again. This includes to getting up early in the morning, getting my son's stuff ready, dressing him, and then like prepare all his things, diapers for school and things, and also prepare my phone, because I know when I'm at work, that phone rings, I jump, because why? School is calling me. And